going in the art cave today, you guys. It's really bright out here. It's really dark in here. So, if you haven't seen my reel that now has over 62,000 views, fun fact, this is the art cave. So, we are actually renting this house. This is like, I guess what you would consider a basement, but it's like you have to get to it from the outside of the house. So all this is the owner's storage, but the owner's dad was actually an architect and had this area like already set up. You can see the tables were already set up for where he painted and drew and did cool stuff. He painted as well, which is super cool. So the owner let me turn it into my art cave. So I just threw down some painting cloth so that I don't ruin anything, because y'all know I'm a messy painter. And this is my own little oasis for now. So this is where I'm painting from while we're here in Colorado Springs. So yeah, I thought I'd go live today and just kind of show you guys around and do some painting. So this idea actually came to me, a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it's been scheduled a few weeks already. I just got the intuitive hit. My guides were like, why are you not painting? Why are you not doing live intuitive paintings anymore? You need to put this stuff out there. You need to go back to like what your original authentic calling is. So I said, okay, I scheduled this, and I'm hoping that you will see it as a nice, relaxing, refreshing time in your day, no matter if you're watching this live or the replay. It's always one of my favorite things to do is sit on the couch and watch people paint. So go ahead and let me know in the comments if you're here live. I'd love to hear from you, just so I know who's here and what's going on. So I'll start by giving you guys a tour of what I've been working on. So I've got this interesting two-piece. This is actually just paper, but it's quite large. And I was making this two-pieced thing, and I kind of just wanted to start by using some marks. So I'm doing a course from Laura Horn Art right now, and she talks about having like a sample page of the different marks that you might use in your paintings. And I found that really fun to do, especially just in black and white, since I'm typically pretty colorful. And so I just made some marks, some black marks on the paper. And I found it interesting that I just kind of started playing with it. And I always go back to roads. I don't know why. I always see roads. And I always kind of feel like this connection to the road of life. So I kind of had that in the back of my mind, but I kind of was just obviously going with intuition and playing. This is not finished, but this is one that I've been working on. If you've been seeing my Instagram stories at all, you'll know that I'm super into playing with texture right now. This is actually sand mixed in paint, and then I used a comb from the Dollar Tree to give it that scratchy texture, which I think turned out really cool. These are pretty bubbled up with texture. And then also from the Dollar Tree, I'm so pumped. They now have gold flecks. So I've been playing with that. Guys, these used to be super duper expensive from every brand I've looked at. They're so expensive. And now the Dollar Tree has them for $3. It's a pretty big can. And they actually have different colors too. I just happen to love the gold. I'll probably hit up some more soon. So then I've had this dream of doing a navy abstract piece for a while. And I needed to buy some navy, which is funny because it's one of my favorite colors. So I found this one actually used on sale at a artist thrift store that I just learned about. It's so awesome. And then golden paint is like my favorite. This is a high quality professional grade paint. but it's very expensive. So you can see here, I only have like a select few golden. And I like to buy these small ones. So it's only 1 ounce, but they last me a long time. And I think this is about $8. So it's a good way to test the color, see if you like it. And yeah, it goes a little bit goes a long ways because of the quality. So anyway, I played with these two, along with some colors that I have had. And I've been working on this abstract piece, which I think is going to be really cool. Again, with the texture. So this, I believe, is, I have this really cool mixture that I'm actually going to do a workshop on very soon. And it's taking flour and tissue paper and making a super textured piece with your acrylic. So you can see how thick that is there. And again, with the gold flakes, I'm so loving these. So last time I was down here, I just had put these down with some Mod Podge, so I haven't seen it dried yet till right now, and I'm actually really loving it. So, and then I kind of think this looks like a mountain, but I wasn't necessarily meaning for it to, so we'll see where this goes today. And then I've got several working pieces in progress. I think this is what we're going to be working on today. So I will set you guys up on my camera holder. Ooh, if we can fit. I have a new phone case and it makes it a little difficult, even though I love this case. Okay. So, while I'm painting, if you have any questions, if you want to know what I'm using or what's going on, definitely drop in the comments. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. And also, thank you for being live with me for my first live art video inside of the art cave. So this is the first one I've done since we've moved to Colorado. We've been here about 4 months, so it's time. So I hope you'll enjoy it today. I'm gonna drop you guys down and we will get started. So here we go. Oops. All right, let's see what that does. So, let me see this okay? Yep. Might go a little taller, give you guys a little more perspective. Perfect. Here we are. So, this is just some nice mixed media paper, and I've kind of just started playing around with this one. This is obviously abstract intuitive. Don't really have an end goal here. Just playing around. I'm looking for a certain pencil I want to use. I can use one of these. So you guys probably are starting to know I'm a Dollar Tree obsessed. So these charcoal pencils I think are really awesome. It's 6 pieces for $1.25, so I mean, I had to try them. And I think they're actually pretty fun. I don't know that they're like, you know, professional high quality charcoal, but it does make a nice marking tool, especially for some contrast. I love colors, but the more I practice, the more I've learned you have to use blacks to get some nice contrast so your colors will pop. So I like to use this just to make marks. I think it's fabulous. Can't hurt it, right? It's $1. I think that's super cool. So maybe you want to, you know, draw along with me. Maybe you just like to watch. I think it's so relaxing just to watch people do art. And inspiring too. So if you want someone else to peep on, I really enjoy Janet Skate's art channel on YouTube. She does a lot of cool stuff. She's also an Oklahoma girl. She's in the Tulsa area. But she does a lot of really cool stuff. So, I guess you guys got a quick view, but I've got all sorts of tools, and this is a chalk pastel I got on Amazon a while back. I think they're really fun. Just a cool way to, I think they have a really nice pigment, a bright pigment. A nice way to add some more color. And we'll do a little bit of this. So this morning, it's about 3 o'clock here today as I'm recording. And it's a Monday. And this morning I've just been honestly and truly doing some soul searching around my business. Did not have a great sleep last night, and I kept vividly seeing my business plan. And I felt like I was getting intuitive guidance to rework my business plan and get clarity and get crystal clear on what I offer. Like, that was just the message of my dreams, kind of, which was neat. But then I woke up and, you know, I was like, well, I have all these goals and a to-do list, and a few of those things have been on my to-do list all year now. So obviously there's a block there. It's not getting done. I want to do it, but I'm not energized. So I did some journaling and some EFT tapping. I let a lot of blocked energy be released. And it's funny because again and again and again lately, I just keep, the more I connect to my guides and connect to the soul of the sparkling hippie, the more I just go back to this message of like, be more vulnerable, be more vulnerable, be more vulnerable. And I have this huge, huge, huge fear that I've carried around for a very long time now. This fear surrounding just being open about my spirituality and how connected I feel to God. I've had a lot of misunderstandings about that in my life, especially when I was younger, which is kind of difficult when you're coming of age and you feel really called by God and your peers are like, let's just drink beer. What are you talking about? Even adults have had a hard time understanding me and my spirituality. And so I think over the past several years, 10 years maybe, I'm very actively spiritual in my private life, but I have a very hard time bringing that to the forefront. And it's honestly what the Sparkling Hippie is about. It's what I feel called to do. And yet I'm not doing it. So unblock, unblock, unblock. When we are not manifesting in, you know, what we want to call in, right? So typically you're like, hey, this is what I want to call in. And then you unblock it. And then you take aligned action towards it. So you trust your intuition, you go towards it, and that's how we stay in flow. That's how things work. So when you have stuff that you're wanting to manifest, that you're calling it in, you want it, but it's not happening, one of two things needs to happen, potentially both. The first is to unblock, because there's obviously some deeper subconscious trauma that's trying to keep you safe in the ego mind, right? So you need to unblock that. And then second of all, after you're unblocked, take align action. But we have to be unblocked before we take aligned action, or else we're going to be subconsciously self-sabotaging. So where was I going with all of that? So anyway, there's been a lot of stuff I've been calling in, and I noticed today, I was like, I just need to unblock. Like, I want the Sparkling Hippie to be bigger, more expansive, more inspirational. I want to be more bold about what I believe truly and honestly helps you all become more expanded. I have these visions, I have these dreams, and I'm not doing them. And so that told me there's some subconscious dynamics at play that were blocking what I'm trying to call in. So honestly, all year, really since last October, I've been doing a ton of subconscious unblocking work through various forms and resources. But I just think it's a necessary, integral part of my business journey, my business expansion. And this is what I love about helping people with their businesses. Every business is so different because each and every one of you are so different. And I think it's easy to sometimes see other people succeeding in business and it looks effortless and, you know, I made 10K in 5 months. Here's how you can too. That's all fine and great. But your journey's not my journey. My journey's not your journey. So even though I implemented a system that has, quote, proven to make thousands of people millions of dollars, right? Which I truly did this a few years back. It didn't work for me. I mean, the system was fine, but I didn't make millions of dollars. And you know why? Because there's deeper things at play here. First of all, my calling is not to just go be a marketing coach, right? That would be nice if it was, but I've been called to be deeper, to share more spiritual essence. And that takes guts, especially when your biggest fear, your biggest wound, biggest block in life is being rejected for being too spiritual, which this is my story. So, you know, I've got to unblock myself. But also, if you're feeling called to, you know, speak out against, I don't know, corrupt medicine companies, but you're afraid of that because you're afraid people will think you're nuts. And so instead you're talking about how to have a healthy diet and you're not getting anywhere and you're not making money and you're not booking clients. Well, it's not necessarily because your message is bad. It's more than likely because you're not in your full authentic alignment. You're not truly stepping into what you were called to speak to. So anyway, that's, in a nutshell, that's what I've been working on the past few months, several months. And I think there's this big, what would I call it? This thing I've noticed that my business really was rocking and rolling in 2021. And 22, I was grieving. That was tough. And 23, I've entered into this year, and I'm just really, it's not even so much, I feel like 2022, I was like trying to get back to where I was in 21. And then a spiritual friend of mine pointed out, she goes, girl, you aren't who you were in 2021 anymore. So you're not going to be able to succeed in the same way that you did then. And that hit home. So now in 23, I'm on this inner and outer journey of finding, you know, what's the Sparkling Hippie look like now? What do I look like now? What's on my heart to share now? So I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty open and vulnerable. Like if you guys follow my podcast and are in the Sparkle Society, you see I'm pretty open, but at the same time, I feel like I can always be more open because I work with clients every day who are frustrated they aren't growing quick enough. And, you know, why did so-and-so promise me $1 million in my first 6 months of business and I'm not there yet? What's wrong with me? How am I stupid? Is this not meant to be? And I think that's why it's so important for me to share my journey intimately, because we're not all cookie cutters, right? We all have our own journey, and it's beyond just implementing a couple of tech pieces, right? It's becoming who you're meant to become, especially as a spiritual entrepreneur. That's actually the end goal, and that's actually the most terrifying, if you ask me. Actually, I think this is turning out pretty cool. Actually, I think it's helping to talk to you guys. I'm staying focused longer than normal. May have to do more of these. Again, I was doing these live painting sessions very regularly in 21. I don't know what happened in 22. Well, I do. And, yeah, we'll see where we go from here. Also a Dollar Tree find, bamboo skewers. You get like a huge pack. These are like probably one of my favorite art tools. They're so fun. Oh, I use them for everything. Let's see. We'll play with one more. So this one's been pretty cool. So you can see, I don't know if you guys can see the texture here. This is also sand and paint mixed together. Comes up with a nice texture. I really like the background on this, just kind of like this pink rock star witchy vibe. I'm really digging. Sometimes I get so attached to the backgrounds, it's hard for me to keep going. I'm like, no, it looks so good. Which is one of the intuitive art principles that I've shared before, right? That's when you have to practice being brave. Practice showing up, practice trusting your gut. It's definitely hard. Because, you know why it's hard? Because I'm like, oh, I like it. It's obviously not finished, but I like it, but I'm scared that I'm gonna mess it up. And I see this a lot in my workshops. It's funny we think that, and we all do. But it's funny because it's only paper. You can't actually mess anything up. There's actually no risk, which is why I always say intuitive art is a great, safe place to practice trusting your intuition, being bold. So if you've followed me at all, you know I don't really plan anything out. I just kind of go with my gut, go with the flow, and have fun. I had a DM last week, and this girl was, well, she was asking me some questions about art, which was cool. And, you know, I gave her my opinion. And, you know, she had this really intense piece that had obviously taken a lot of focus and a lot of time and was very detail oriented, and she wasn't sure if she liked it. So I said, well, you know, grab a new piece of paper, throw some paint at it, have some fun, see what comes up. And, you know, just try. I gave her a couple different ideas to try around her theme. And her response was, oh, yeah, right, I don't have time for that. And it made me giggle because I was like, oh, well, I honestly typically only spend 15 minutes at a time down here. It's amazing how good you'll feel after just 15 minutes of play, not pressure, but play, making stuff for fun. That's the other thing. This is, you know, I'm getting into intuitive art principles, but we put so much darn pressure on ourselves, even in art. And I see people trying to be perfect, and we do it in our businesses, we do it in our relationships, and it's like, just have fun. Let go and enjoy the ride. Ah! So FYI, markers don't work in wet paint. I knew that, but sometimes I'm silly. It's a great way to ruin your marker. Oh, I hope you guys are having fun. I'm having a great time. This is actually really cathartic for me to pause my workday and get down here and have some fun, because once again, jumping into the intuition, the creativity, the joy, fulfillment, all those good pieces. I still feel like I'm attaching too hard to this piece. I need to do something crazy. Hope you guys are ready for this. What color? Somebody comment. What color should we add? Something totally quirky, unexpected. We've got to jazz it up. Hey, A-Ray. Oops. What color? All right. I'm gonna close my eyes, and I grabbed this. Oh, I have a love-hate relationship with orange. Okay, here we go. Practice being brave, y'all. There it is. Woo! Oh, what's she doing? I don't know. I don't know. I like to use my fingers. Oh, it's going to be way too much paint. But we'll add a little over here. A little there. I like to tie it all together by bringing in the paint on different areas of the painting. That creates cohesion. Someone asked me the other day why I'm not an art teacher. I said, because I don't teach traditional methods at all. I teach intuition, which is not what they teach you in art school or in high school. I would love to teach more of this. The world needs more of this, way more than they need traditional art techniques, but that's just my opinion. I guess that's why I'm not the dean of an art school yet. Okay. I'm gonna have to stop that piece right there because my hands are messy. All right. Well, you guys, thanks for having, I hope I don't ruin my nails. I actually got my nails done. I'm gonna ruin them. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you enjoyed painting with me. Thanks for the good comments. Thank you guys. And I hope you take this as encouragement to go be messy today. Do something that does not require perfection. Have some fun and give yourself a big, big hug because you're enough just as you are. Orange kisses. See you soon.